Hello everyone, it's YeezusGames again, and you know what? It's that time of year again, and yes, you know what I mean, E3. The time where lots of new games are shown, and a time where a lot of surprises happen in the video game industry. A time where fanboys cry over exclusives, and a time when our favorite companies can be total letdowns. Since I've started watching E3 conferences over 10 years ago, I decided to make a video of my top 5 anticipated games I really want to see this year at E3. Enjoy! Number 5. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider was revealed last year during Microsoft's E3 press conference, and then again during Gamescom 2014, where Microsoft discreetly announced that the game would be exclusive to Xbox consoles holiday 2015. Published by Square Enix and developed by Crystal Dynamics, Tomb Raider was personally and surprisingly one of my favorite games this console generation and in 2013 itself. So much that I had bought the Xbox 360 version upon release date and then double dipping and purchasing the definitive edition for the PS4. So it's really no surprise that the game made it into my top 5 games I'm looking forward to this year. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have any gameplay videos yet, and all we have to look at is the trailer that premiered last year and the recent one they just came out with, which is pretty much foreshadowing what happened to Laura and what the game is going to be about. Miss Croft is sitting in a room talking with what I believe is a psychologist, so it looks like this game will have a little more deranged Laura, battle hardened, I guess, I don't know. I'm really hoping for a few gameplay improvements though. As much as I like the first game, I believe that there were a few things I personally like to see happen, mainly a larger emphasis on raiding tombs. The first game did well, but they were optional and extremely bare bones. Most puzzles were really well done, but I believe Crystal Dynamics could almost be tiptoeing into a Zelda-like territory if they could design the tombs more like a dungeon and have the puzzle solving and reward mesh with the actual game design. At E3 2013, Sony pretty much shocked the crowd with the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's been a long time since anything Kingdom Hearts 3 was talked about, and the surprise reveal was definitely something that has satisfied fans. Since then, we have been drip-fed news little by little. A few videos has released here and there, but they don't really show much. The E3 2013 trailer was more or less scripted, of course, so you can't really pay any credence to the game actually looking like that. I'm not saying that the game won't look like that, no, it might actually look better. We still haven't had a proper reveal of the game, so there's been plenty of time for things to change, developers getting more familiar with the hardware and so on. Other than cosmetically, there's been plenty of other things happening behind the scenes. Director at the time of both Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3, Tetsuya Nomura seems to have relinquished his duty as director of Final Fantasy 15, giving him the option to give his full attention to Kingdom Hearts 3. There was also a switch in engine. Supposedly Square was using their Luminos engine for Kingdom Hearts before, you know, the one that the Agnes Philosophy tech demo was using a few years back. They apparently decided to go with Unreal Engine 4 by Epic. I'm not sure how that has altered development or the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3 compared to the ones before, but I guess we should just hope for the best. Kingdom Hearts 3 really should be at E3 2015. I mean, Square Enix is actually having a conference of their own where they'll be showing a few games and a few new surprise games that they haven't revealed yet. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 deserves to be there if that's the case. To end number 4 on the list, I just want to remind you guys that since Kingdom Hearts 2, there has been a few noteworthy Disney acquisitions, mainly Marvel and Star Wars. Let's at least hope we get to see these brands represented, as they can surely open all sorts of gameplay and story elements previous to Kingdom Hearts games that the previous entries in the series haven't had the opportunity for. Number 3. Devil's Third. Devil's Third took a lot of people by surprise last E3. For a game once being developed for the 360 and PS3, then its publisher THQ being closed down in 2013, a lot of people wondered about where this game would end up. I guess no other company wanted to publish the game except Nintendo. At last year's E3 during Nintendo's digital event, Devil's Third was announced for the Wii U. Given the tone of the game and the type of game it is, threw a lot of people for a loop. Nintendo not really known for specializing in making mature themed games, although Bayonetta may have a few words about that. Anyways, Devil Third makes my top 5 list at number 3. Game director, designer Tomonobu Itagaki, best known for Dead or Alive series or Ninja Gaiden, with his own company Valhalla Games seems to be making one hell of a game. Firstly, the gameplay seems to be a mix of a shooter and hack and slash, as Ivan, the main character, carries both a sword and a gun. He can dismember his enemies up close and do all sorts of execution style moves, cutting off all and any kind of limbs if he chooses. Single player wasn't the only part that made it showing at E3 though, and especially what impressed me as far as that goes, I say the main reason the game is on my list is because of the multiplayer, and as a person who is getting a bit jaded with shooters, this game looks to be a breath of fresh air, literally. Not only will there be game modes you've come to love for many online shooters, there's just a whole lot more going on in this game. It literally is one of the most ambitious looking multiplayer games I've seen in years. I mean, there's all sorts of gameplay modes, options, ranking, XP based levelization, and customization. I mean, you literally can make your own game mode based on anything you want. There's just a ton of information in the multiplayer trailer. I'm just going to let you watch it and see what I'm talking about, how crazy this damn game looks. Hopefully this E3 the game is spruced up a bit. The graphics seem a bit lackluster and the game overall didn't have a great showing with some gameplay mechanics looking off as well. But for a game that's unfinished, that's what I expect. For a game supposedly releasing this year though, I have higher expectations in terms of polish.
Like these.
Number 2, Scalebound. There really is not much I can say about this game, and I'm just so incredibly sad that I can't. Platinum is one of my favorite game developers around, and when I saw Hideki Kamiya walk on Microsoft's stage last E3, I was giddy as can be. I mean, the guy who made Bayonetta, The Wonderful 101, Okami, Beautiful Joe. I was pretty excited that he was again developing a new original IP. The trailer for Scalebound is nothing but CG, but let me tell you, it's probably the most hyped CG trailer I have ever seen. This guy with white hair and a sword, almost Dante-like, running through the jungle being chased by a dragon, runs into another dragon, and then stuff happens. He puts on a pair of beast-looking headphones and then transforms into some crazy suit, almost unidentifiable at this point, and then rides one of the dragons. All I know extra that I can tell you guys is that Kamiya said this game won't be the usual kind of Platinum game, meaning this won't solely be based on action and quick reflexes like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. So I'm not really sure where to take that. From that statement I predicted it could be more of an open world kind of game or action RPG-ish, but it could literally be anything. I doubt Platinum Games will ever disappoint me, but hopefully this E3 we see a lot more and not a CG trailer. I fully expect this title to be released in 2016. In terms of what was shown last E3, this game is probably the worst in representation last year, yet it's on my number 1 pick on the list. There was absolutely nothing shown for Star Fox Wii U last year. All we got was a blurry picture, which doesn't look like much for Star Fox 64 being controlled by the Wii U gamepad. Sad, right? Anyways, this makes my list solely based on potential. Star Fox hasn't had a mainline game since, I say, Star Fox Assault on the GameCube. You know what that means, right? It's been about 10 years since we have had a Star Fox game. You know what's even more crazy that it's been almost 19 years since we've had a Star Fox game developed by Nintendo themselves. Star Fox Adventure, Star Fox Assault, and Star Fox Command were all developed outside of Nintendo. Apparently Miyamoto is the director of this new Star Fox game and stated this game will release in 2015, even though we have seen absolutely nothing on it. So who knows what this game will be like? Could it be a strictly on-rail Star Fox like the original and the N64 game? Or could it be a mix of an on-rails and on-foot gameplay / missions similar to Star Fox Assault? If I had a choice, I would choose Star Fox Assault style easily. Even though Namco developed the game, it had promise, but it lacked a bunch of polish. The controls on the ground weren't the greatest, and the repetitive missions and doing the same list of things each mission was a bit tiresome. For what it's worth, I enjoyed it a lot, but I do think as the next huge Wii U game, Star Fox needs to be absolutely perfect. Project, Guard, and Giant Robot from last year's E3 demo, Nintendo provided were noted to be in some way in Star Fox Wii U.